Baby J and Rod Stewart. 7 minutes, 8 minutes now, past 11 o'clock. Time flies, doesn't it? Tuesday morning on BBC Radio Oxford. Now, if you saw The Dragon's Den on Sunday, and I did, I'm a big fan, you might recall my next guests. They're Stuart and Samantha. They were actually dumped by the dagger-tongued dragon, but this pair of Oxfordshire-based scientists are battling back. Let's hear a bit of them on the show first.
My name's Dr. Samantha Decombel, and this is my partner, Dr. Stuart Grice. We're scientists.
Their product was a fusion of the worlds of art and science.
We've created a range of beautiful artwork with the most personal touch of all. It gives you a glimpse inside of your DNA.
Piers Linney found it all a bit baffling.
So you want to be the premier scientific artwork company?
Yes.
So where does it go next? You put someone's appendix in a nice coloured jar. Where's it supposed to go?
No, we do bespoke work. It's like a portrait, it's little bits of people, you know, little bits of their family.
Duncan Bannatyne was surprised when he decoded the cost of the scientific pictures.
What price do you sell them at?
So this one will be 1,500 and...
What?
And 49. And
people are paying £1,500 for that. Have you analysed the DNA genes of these people to see if they've got the daft gene? Or the throw money away gene?
It's a bespoke.
Yeah.
It's a bespoke piece of artwork, Duncan.
The Dragons were less interested in the DNA of the entrepreneur's artwork and more intrigued by the chemistry of their relationship.
Are you married?
Been going out for 17 years.
It's a bit of a sore point.
If you were to do it now, I'd invest.
Please.
Honestly?
You are in so much trouble now.
But any hope of a dragon-doctor relationship was dashed as Piers Linney summed up the feeling in the den.
So I think you do have a small market for certain people that would go for this. Is it a business you can invest in? I'm not convinced. So it's not for me, so I'm out.
Well, they were out, and the duo are in with me in the studio this morning. It's lovely to meet Samantha and Stuart. Hello, both.
Hi. Hello, Malcolm.
Nice to see you. So, DNA art, they didn't exactly go for. They were more interested in whether you were getting married, Samantha, weren't they?
Yes, unfortunately for us, I think it did seem to take away some of the airtime from the actual product, which we really would have liked to have been able to tell people a little bit more about.
Stuart, what was it like, your Dragon's Den experience?
It was, well, before you go in, you're obviously very nervous, but actually when you get into the den, it's kind of enjoyable. Well, my proper job's being a scientist, and obviously we get peer-reviewed and tore apart, and the guys that peer-review you are very, very bright people. Not saying the Dragons aren't, I'm just saying that it wasn't as intimidating as that. It was good fun. But nerve-wracking.
We enjoyed it.
Do we see it all, Samantha? Were the bits we didn't see?
Oh gosh, yes, we were in there for over 45 minutes, so there was a lot, obviously, that was edited out. We had some lovely comments, actually, off Deborah and off Peter. Peter Jones really liked it. And it was a shame, in a way, that they cut those parts out, but I guess they have to go for the sort of extremes, for the entertainment value of the show.
Yes. And what's it like? Well, I mean, DNA art, you'd put a lot of time and effort into your pitch, and before that into creating the business. What's it like when they actually say, I'm out? Is it very deflating? Do you walk out thinking, oh dear, that's our life down the drain almost? Do you?
It was deflating. We had gone in with our expectations being very realistic, I think, because we were aware we were a boutique business, so we were aware that the likelihood that they were going to invest was probably on the low side, given that they probably invest in 1 out of every sort of 10 or so opportunities that they see. But again, it was the advantage of being able to show what we do to so many people all at once. When you're a self-funded business like ours, we put all of our savings into this business. We obviously don't have a budget for marketing as such, because that all went into the lab setup. So this was just a great way to get in front of a lot of people at once and tell them what we do.
Explain more about DNA art, Stuart. What exactly were you showing the Dragons for the people that didn't watch the show?
So we take someone's DNA and then we generate like a forensic piece of artwork, And actually what you can do is take a mother or father, for example, actually you'll see particular, like a genetic fingerprint, and actually you can follow the inheritance patterns into children. So what it shows is actually corresponding bands to you as an individual. So it just shows a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
We look at particularly interesting traits like eye colour, whether you have a preference to, if you're more of a morning or evening person. People are more active in the morning, some people are more active in the evening. We also have a sports portrait as well that looks at genes that have been shown to have an effect on how you respond to training and nutrition.
Yeah, that's muscle genes, that is, isn't it?
So exactly we were doing that as part of PlayDNA, but a chance occurrence, we bumped into some friends who are quite big in the fitness industry, and they looked at the genes and think, hang on a minute, knowing this information is it's not just intrinsically interesting, it actually can help people refine their training programs because it's telling them something a little bit more about their physiology. So this is how MuscleGenes was born. So in collaboration with these a nutritionist and who's a doctor who's also very into the fitness industry, we've expanded to do the DNA testing to help people refine their training programs and nutritional programs.
Working always with sportsmen and women, or everybody? I mean, I've got muscle genes, haven't I?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Everybody has muscle genes. We've seen you play football, Malcolm, at the charity match last year. No, you've definitely got muscle genes. So everybody does, and it's really about. We're all obviously built slightly differently. So by looking at the types, the different versions of those genes that you carry, can tell you something about the way that you might respond to particular training programs, for example, or it can tell you more information about your blood flow, vasodilation, and this can have an impact on the sorts of foods that you might want to take, the sorts of supplements that you might want to take. And as you say, we've been looking at some celebrity sports people. We've got Roger Wilson, the Irish international rugby player, has taken the MuscleGenes test. Also, Andy Peters, the TV presenter, has given us an endorsement, and Dr. Christian Jessen as well has also taken the test.
Yeah. So can you only get the test with you, this MuscleGenes test? Is it something you've developed uniquely?
So what we look at, it's particularly what we do. It's I think what we offer is we have geneticists who understand the genetics, but we also have a nutritionist and sports physiologists on board. So I think we have a very unique team, which makes us pretty much one of the few groups of people in the world that can actually put this forward and give our customers something to help them refine their training programs.
You ought to get down to Oxford United.
We would love to. We would love to test Oxford United. There we go. We've put that on the radio now, so maybe they'll get in touch with us. We'd love to do that.
United, it could transform their season. It could transform not only the way they play and work as athletes, but anything from their diet and everything to help their overall sort of well-being, if you like.
Absolutely.
I think it really gets people thinking about their physiology as well, which is very important. Especially when you're training and performing in sport.
It strikes me that your appearance in the Dragon's Den hasn't exactly put you off. In fact, I know you're based at the Cherwell Innovation Centre, which is a fascinating place in itself, but it seems as if it's quite the reverse, given you a spur to go on, has it, Samantha?
It has, absolutely, yes. We've been very lucky, actually, with the Cherwell Innovation Centre. They are a fantastic facility. They essentially allow us to rent lab space, have access to all the facilities on very short-term contracts, which makes it possible for individuals like us that don't have large financial backing to actually trial out different ideas and to see whether they'll work or not. And without that facility to allow us to do that, PlayDNA and MuscleGenes wouldn't exist.
And I've got some good news for those pesky dragons. You know, the dragons that were determined to get you hitched. Well, the good news is, Stuart.
Yes.
What?
Well, I proposed to Samantha in November. In Stratford-upon-Avon, which is somewhere we used to go when we were young, when we were first dating, many years ago.
17 years you've been together.
Yes.
It's been a long wait.
It has, yeah.
So you got down on one knee in Stratford in November, after the show had been recorded?
After the show, we wanted to do it in
I wouldn't have wanted it to have happened in the Den. It wasn't what we pictured. We did go in there with a genuine business to pitch, rather than, as getting engaged on the show, it wouldn't have been very romantic, I think. Much more romantic, having a lovely walk around Stratford and lovely seafood meal, champagne. Much more what I wouldn't take any amount of Peter's money to switch that. So.
Faith, I need a new investment to pay the bill.
You romantic old devil. You did say yes, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Oh, well, many congratulations on that.
Thank you.
This is the great news. If you watched the Dragon's Den on Sunday and thought like me, oh, that's a shame. Well, the good news is this. They've not only survived, but they're actually thriving at the Cherwell Innovation Centre. PlayDNA continues to go from strength to strength with their DNA art. And a new thing called MuscleGenes. We must delve a little further into that the next time. But it's lovely to see you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Malcolm.
All's well that ends well.
Indeed.
I think is the phrase. Many congratulations. We have a date.
Not set a date yet. It could be a long engagement.
Probably another 17 years.
Yes.
Hopefully not another 17 years.
No, not another 17 years. The way you get it, you'll be broke up by the end. I'm joking. Lovely to see you both.
Thank you.
Very much.
Good luck with PlayDNA.
Thank you.